On a Monday night in September 2022, under the lights of a roaring Seattle crowd, something unexpected happened. A quarterback the world had written off stepped onto the field, and for the first time in nearly a decade, the story wasn't about who he used to be. It was about what he'd become. It wasn't just a win, it was a moment that shook the league, silenced critics, and flipped a script that had been written years ago. But if you didn't know who Gino was before the night, if you didn't know what he'd been through, you might have missed why it mattered so much. Because this isn't just a comeback story, it's something more rare. The kind of arc you usually see in only movies, where the punchline becomes the headline, and the guy no one believed in finds the stage that was always his. So, how did we get here? Let's rewind. In 2012, Geno Smith looked like the future.
Play action, Geno Smith up top, corner,
He threw for 4,200 yards and 42 touchdowns at West Virginia. He started the season with 24 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Through his first 6 games, he wasn't just good, he was electric. He had Mahomes flashes before Mahomes existed, rolling left, flicking 40-yard bombs downfield, outdueling teams with his legs and arm in equal measure. He was a projected first-rounder, a Heisman candidate, a quarterback with dual-threat talent, and a pro-level poise. But then, something changed. The second half of the college season didn't live up to the hype. The draft buzz cooled, and when the 2013 NFL Draft rolled around, Geno waited in the green room all night.
is this the pick?
To announce the New York Jets selection, please welcome from Hofstra University, an undrafted free agent in 1995, wide receiver Wayne Corbett.
With the 39th pick in the 2013 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Geno Smith, quarterback, West Virginia.
Round 1 passed. So did round 2. When the Jets finally took him in the 39th overall pick, the damage had already been done. The league didn't trust him, and soon, neither would his own team. Geno was thrown into the fire immediately. No learning curve, no soft start. The Jets made him the week 1 starter as a rookie. And at first, there were flashes. In just his 3rd career game, he led a game-winning drive to beat the Bills. 2 weeks later, he threw for 331 yards and 2 touchdowns to stun the Falcons in primetime. He became the first Jets rookie QB to win on Monday Night Football. But the high moments were drowned out by the lows. 12 touchdowns, 21 interceptions in his rookie year, fumbles, missed reads, ugly mechanics, criticism from fans, coaches, media, everyone. New York is a tough city to play in. It's brutal when you're struggling, and Geno was struggling. Still, he was named the starter again in year 2. And again. The story didn't change much. A few wins, a few comebacks, but the consistency never came. He ended 2014 with 13 touchdowns and 13 picks. In the Jets, they ended with another losing record. Then the moment came that turned him from an underachiever into a meme.
Geno Smith is expected to be out 6 to 10 weeks with a broken jaw after being punched in the locker room by a teammate. According to Jets coach Todd Bowles, Smith was, quote, cold-cocked, sucker-punched, whatever you want to call it, close quote, by a reserve linebacker, Ick.
In 2015, during training camp, Geno got into a locker room dispute with a teammate, and it was reportedly over a $600 unpaid debt. 1 punch later, Geno's jaw was broken, he missed the first quarter of the season, lost his starting job, and never got it back. A 2nd-round pick, once billed as a franchise savior, now sidelined, literally, by his own teammate. The media had a field day. He wasn't just bad, he was embarrassing. From that point on, the league labeled him immature, inconsistent, unreliable, and in the NFL, those labels stick. Over the next few years, Geno bounced between teams, the Giants, the Chargers, the Seahawks, each team as a backup, each time forgotten. Between 2015 and 2020, Geno Smith threw just 67 total passes. That's fewer than Patrick Mahomes threw in 2 games last season. He wasn't being groomed. He wasn't even being noticed. Geno was done. Or so we thought. From the moment Geno's jaw was broken, his career didn't just stall. It vanished. He didn't retire. He didn't flame out on national TV. He just faded. The headlines stopped. The interviews stopped. His name slowly disappeared from conversations entirely. And in football, invisibility might be worse than failure. Because in those years, Geno wasn't making noise, but he wasn't making mistakes either. He was sitting, watching, learning, behind other quarterbacks, beneath every radar. For most people, that kind of irrelevance becomes permanent. But Geno, it became fuel. He never lashed out, never clapped back, he just kept going. There's no stat line for that, but it matters. Because while the rest of the world moved on, Geno didn't. He stayed, prepared, quiet yet ready. Even when it looked like he'd never get another real shot again. Then came the offseason that changed everything.
He's been traded to the Denver Broncos. Tom Pelissero reports that there is a deal in principle to send 9-time Pro Bowl quarterback Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos.
That the Broncos have traded for a Super Bowl champion caliber quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Russell Wilson.
The Seahawks have reportedly agreed to trade Russell Wilson to the Broncos this morning.
Seattle traded away Russell Wilson, the franchise QB, the Super Bowl winner, the guy Geno had backed up in total silence for 3 years. And suddenly, there was a vacancy. Most people assumed the team would draft someone. Some thought Drew Lock would get the nod. Almost no one, fans, analysts, insiders, believed it would be Geno. But Pete Carroll did. All offseason, Geno kept showing up like a starter. And Pete kept treating him like one. No one believed in the competition, but Geno did. He didn't talk his way into the job. He worked his way into the job. And then, in one of the most poetic twists the NFL has seen in years, Week 1, Monday Night Football, the Seahawks host the Denver Broncos, the team Russell Wilson now plays for. The guy Geno sat behind is now the guy across the field. After 7 years of silence, 7 years of waiting, Geno is no longer a backup. He's the guy. In this game, it's not just about proving he belongs. It's about proving he always did. The moment was nearby impossible to script. Week 1 of the 2022 season. Seattle versus Denver. Geno Smith versus Russell Wilson. For Geno, it wasn't just about winning a job. It was about taking back the story. And from the opening drive, he was in complete control. First possession, Geno goes 5 for 5, ends it with a touchdown pass to Will Dissly. No panic, no hesitation, just poise. Next drive, more of the same. Geno escapes pressure, steps up, hits Colby Parkinson down the seam for another score. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, the Seahawks lead 17-13 at halftime. And Geno is outplaying Russell Wilson on national television. And the best part, he wasn't doing anything flashy. No 60-yard bombs, no highlight reels, just smart decision, sharp throws, veteran-level command. At one point, he was 17 for 18 passing, and that's not managing the game. That's owning it. Every time Denver blitzed, he beat it. Every time the pocket collapsed, he kept his cool. And yet, even with all that, the game came down to one final moment. Final minute, Broncos in field goal range, Seattle clinging to a 17-16 lead. Denver has timeouts, they have time, and then they just let the clock run. Instead of putting the ball in Russ's hands, they settle for a 64-yard field goal attempt. Missed. Game over.
Seattle wins. And Geno Smith, the guy nobody believed in, outduels the quarterback he used to back up. And afterward, it says one sentence that instantly becomes legend.
As your defense went to work, but what were you thinking when that field goal attempt left his foot?
Man, a complete team win today. Complete team win. We didn't finish the way we like to, but that defense went out there and got it done. They won that game for us, and that's what we need all year. All the phases, we got to do it like that all year.
You said had written you off, maybe? What do you say to them?
Yeah, they wrote me off. I ain't right back, though. That's the problem. I ain't right back. Let's go.
All right. Congratulations, Geno.
That's not a soundbite. That's a mission statement. For every overlooked player, for every career that took the long road, for everyone who waited for a moment and made it count. One game could have been a fluke, a nice story, a cool headline. But Geno Smith wasn't just back. He was better than he'd ever been. He finished the 2022 season with 30 touchdowns, over 4,200 passing yards, and the highest completion percentage in the NFL. He led Seattle to the playoffs. He made the Pro Bowl. He was named NFL Comeback Player of the Year, even though in his words, he never really went anywhere. And maybe that's the most important part of this all. Because comeback stories are usually about athletes who fell off from greatness. But Geno? No. He never got to be great in the first place. He was written off before he ever had a chance to prove who he really was. Labeled early, buried for years. Then somehow, he flipped the entire script in his 30s. Not just as a feel-good backup, he became a legitimate starter, a leader, the face of a franchise. In a league obsessed with potential and hype, Geno Smith became something even rarer. A quarterback who didn't peak early, a player who didn't need the spotlight to prepare for it, a man who knew what he was capable of, even when no one else did. In that moment, that Monday night against Denver, it wasn't just redemption. It was a reminder that sometimes the best stories aren't the ones that start fast, they're the ones that survive everything, and somehow still finish strong.